What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about productivity culture and why I think it's so toxic and why I think it's causing people more anguish and anxiety, myself included. If you're somebody who has run into the productivity, mindset, culture, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the productivity culture where they make you feel like you're a piece of shit for wanting to relax. And yes, obviously, if you're productive, 16, 20 hours out of the day, of course you're going to be more successful. You're putting more work in, I guess, maybe, if you're one of the few people that can do that. But here's what happens. This is what happens to most people that get into the productivity culture. Okay, what happens is they try to do that. They need to be productive all 16 hours that they're awake, or if they're convinced they need to sacrifice sleep, 20 hours. And what happens is you only work maybe 4 to 5 real hours where you're getting real stuff done. And that's just proven in multiple studies. That's about like real heavy focused work that you're going to get, before you start getting like diminishing returns for your efforts. And this is what happens to most people right here, me included. This was my biggest downfall, right? Like it makes relaxing impossible. It makes you feel bad for relaxing, and I hate that it's pushed so much. And what do I mean? So if I couldn't find anything to do, or if I didn't have anything to do, I felt bad for just relaxing. I was like, I should be doing something. Everybody else out there is doing something. I'm not doing something productive. And it ended up making myself productive doing tasks that didn't matter or that weren't a priority. I just was doing them to feel like I was doing something. And that was a big stressor in my last relationship because, my ex wanted to relax. She wanted to go do something fun, and I didn't want to because it would make me anxious because I'd be paranoid. I'm like, I feel like I should be doing something productive. I should be getting up. Because sometimes she would just want to lay down, like watch a show or something, watch TV, which is fine. You can do that. And I should have done that. I should have spent more time with her. But when we're sitting there watching TV, I literally I would start to feel bad about myself. I wouldn't even be having fun. Tell her, like, man, I need to go do something. I can't be doing this. And it caused so much stress. And that's my fault. That 100% was a me problem. That was not a her problem. She just knew how to relax, and I don't. And that's why I hate productivity culture because it's trained my brain to work that way. First of all, I've always felt that way. I've always dealt with that. I hate silence. I hate not doing anything. Because when I'm not doing anything, I'm forced to deal with whatever pops into my head, and I just don't want to do that. But productivity culture made it worse. So that was a 100% me problem. None of that was on my ex at all. But that's just the example that I'm giving. And it's doing this to a lot of people. I realize like everybody's feeling this way and everybody feels anxious because of it. Everybody, they get anxious at the thought of just having fun, enjoying time. They get anxious at the thought of not having their phone in their hands and being on their phone cuz your phone, it will trick you into thinking that you're being productive. You will scroll TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, whatever social media platform you want to choose. And just because you're scrolling through it and you're watching stuff on productivity, like it makes you think you're being productive and you're not. You're the exact opposite. You're literally not doing shit. So why is productivity culture content so huge? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. If you get a couple clips of it, you interact with it, it's all you're going to get. And like I said in the beginning, I'm not, talking down on people that want to do that. And it does make you successful. But there's some people out there, it's just not for them. But the phone, maybe not the phone, just the social media, the algorithms make you think that that's what you need to be doing. And this comes back to the, comparing yourself to everybody. Everybody's comparing themselves to something. Like nobody, like, how rare it is to meet somebody that doesn't compare themselves to anything or anyone. I know they're out there. Like, I'm one of them now. Oh, I used to not be. And I know there's other people out there that are like that, but it's so rare. It's so rare. Everybody has to compare themselves to somebody. Last couple relationships I've been into, right? Girlfriends, they're like, we don't do this like they do. I see people doing this. I see people doing that. I see people having this. These people only been together 4 months. They got a house. They're married. Girl's pregnant. Whatever. No, and we're not doing any of that. I don't compare myself to people. And there's a lot of people, that do that, and that brings up your anxiety as well. Let me tell you something. My anxiety went down so much when I realized that I just shouldn't compare myself to anyone or anything. Once that went away, majority of my anxiety went away. I still have it, but it's not nearly as strong. That was one of the my most toxic things, that I could not give up, was comparing myself to other people, comparing myself to where their success is at, or compare myself to how they look, or or what they have. Because a successful person out there, like, if they're successful and they have like everything that you want, but you're 30 years old and this person is 22. All right, and let's say they either went viral and got lucky, with social media, or they had rich parents, whatever it is, right? They got a head start on you. Okay, but that doesn't mean you can't be successful either. That doesn't mean that you can't do it. But what people get stuck on is they compare themselves to this person, and they're like, this person's like 22 years old. He's got a bunch of sports cars. He's got a bunch of he's got a couple houses. He's got all this money, blah blah blah, women, whatever you want, whatever your desires are that he has, that's what you start comparing it to. But what you don't know, he might not even be happy. He might feel just like you do. He might not be happy. A lot of them people, man, they can't handle that pressure, and it gets to them. And that's why a lot of them you see end up, failing, or maybe not failing, but like falling off, or going crazy, or doing some wild shit or something. Or a lot of them, some of them, they lose all their money because they don't know how to manage it. Now, I don't know about you, but if my 21-year-old self had like $30 million on me, maybe that, because I don't know how much the viral people make. Let's make it easier. $2 million. If I had $2 million given to me when I was 22, I wouldn't have shit. I wouldn't have any of it. I'd probably be right where I am right now. Just because I'm young, I was dumb. I would have wasted it all on dumb shit. I wouldn't have done anything smart with it. Because that's just how I am. That's how I am as a person. That's how I know. Now, if it was given to me now, oh man, I'm thriving. I'm thriving. You give it to me now, oh, I'm investing everything. I'm going to start businesses. I'm going to help family out. Whatever it may, you know what I'm saying. The point I'm making, productivity culture is what's driving a lot of people's anxiety. It's teaching people not to, it's teaching people, it's one of those days. It's teaching people that relaxing is not okay. And it's teaching people that you need to compare yourself to everybody else. Because everybody who says, you need to stay productive, they're the ones that look successful. And some of them might even be faking it, for all you know. You have no idea. But we all just need to stop following productivity culture so much. And we just need to learn to relax, enjoy our life, enjoy the world outside of social media platforms, and just get back to being in tune with ourselves. That's what I think a lot of people are missing now, and especially you younger people. I feel so bad for you. I'm only 30. Like, it's not like I'm super old, but there was a time where this stuff didn't exist, and I do miss those times. I do miss the times when you couldn't text a friend to see if they wanted to hang out. If they lived 5 blocks away, you had to walk your ass over there or ride your bike and find out yourself, and you don't know. They might not even be home. You have no idea. I miss those days, but that's all I got for today. As always, I hope you guys are doing better than I am. And if you're not, I hope you're at least doing as good as I am. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Peace.